Hi everybody, happy Friday the 13th, hence the mask. And from now on, I will be wearing the mask every show with different colors for the Detroit sports teams. And I am the Detroit Phantom. As you can see in in this picture right here, on my is my X account. And so just give me a follow on that. And today I'll be talking about what the significance of the Justin Verlander signing is, as well as the Framber Valdez signing as well. Now, with the with the Justin Verlander acquisition, it is much more important that we got him back because when he was with the Giants, they were terrible with them. They had a terrible offense. We were Tigers were top 15, top 10 in almost every single category offensively, while the Giants were bottom half of the league. And down the stretch, Verlander had a 2.99 ERA in the last half of the season. Now, if he was on a team like on the Tigers last year, he would have helped us down the stretch. Now, the Framber Valdez signing is a little bit more equivalent to what the Tigers had last season in terms of offense as well as pitching. The Astros were better than us pitching all around, while their offense was extremely similar to the Tigers' offense. Now, as far as the biggest difference with the player, um, I do believe Verlander is going to have of a difference on the Tigers than in comparison with the Giants um with the Giants that Framber Valdez had with the Astros. Um because like I said, the Giants sucked with Verlander and Valdez was good with the Astros, but the Astros were already kind of good as well. And so this 385 ERA is inflated due to the fact of how the Giants were actually. Now, with Verlander, I believe he can possibly get to 300 wins with the Tigers in his career. And he could possibly do that this year. Now, the way I see it is this, okay? Obviously, Verlander makes 32 starts in the season if he's all healthy. Okay, and let's just take a moment real quick and let's see how many wins he's at right now. He's at 266 wins. So that means he needs 34 more wins. Okay, now 34 more wins to get to 300 wins. Now, I don't care what anybody else says, he will get there. Um, because if he if he's healthy all season long, okay, and let's say he gets between 10 to 15 wins by the All-Star break, then as we start getting some of our other guys back, Job and Job and Olsen. Well, Olsen's out for the year, so just Job. Um, Verlander can possibly go to the bullpen in the second half of the season to save his arm for the postseason. And I know that sounds weird and probably a long shot, but I think if we play our cards right, we can have Verlander get to 300 wins if he has a great first half of the season. Now, as far as her first half of the season, he was terrible last season, as I said, but with this offense that we have now, and with the most likely addition of Kevin McGonigal playing shortstop, he will be pretty dang good. Now, as far as Framber Valdez goes, okay, now I believe this signing was a um potential signing to say goodbye to school ball, unfortunately. Um, and I don't think that's necessarily right, but I believe that Valdez is there to cushion the blow of either letting Scoble walk or trading Scoble. Now, what I would rather have done is obviously keep Scoble and let him walk rather than trade him, so we can go all the way with Scoble. Now, with Valdez is a 3-year contract. Okay, 3-year contract, highest AAV for a Latin American player, as well as a left-handed pitcher. And to me, that looks like a spit in the face to Scooble, because obviously Scooble was a left-handed pitcher, and obviously Scooble wanted that money, but um, we didn't give it to him. And now, in comparison with the 2013 Tigers to the 2025 Tigers, and looking ahead. So, starting with 2013, we went 93 and 69. Okay. Now, with this team we have now, we will eclipse 105 to 110 wins this season. Okay. Like I said, our starting rotation: Scoville, Valdez, um, Verlander, Flaherty, Mize. And then when we get Joe, we have Troy Milton out of the pen, and our bullpen is shut down. I mean, we have Will Vest, we have um Kenley Jansen as a closer. So I'm very excited for the season. Anyways, getting back to this. So 2013 we went 93 and 69. Like I said, we are going to make that and do better than that. Starting with catcher Alex Avila. Alex Avila has absolutely nothing on Dylan Dingler. Dingler has defense and Dingler has offense. Um, there's no comparison there. Avila had like one great season, and that was his rookie season with us. Prince Fielder, obviously he was great, but I believe that Torkelson has more potential, and I absolutely believe that Torkelson will have a better season than he ever did before, and a better season than what Fielder had in 2013. 25 home runs. Obviously, we've seen Torkelson already eclipse that in a couple years. And the RBIs, I think Torkelson is definitely going to eclipse that with the offense we have going now. And then the batting average, 279. Um, I think Torkelson is going to get up to 280 to 285. And OPS, OPS Fielder that season was only at 819. Okay. Uh, yeah, and that just seems a little weird. Um, and then Infante, in comparison with Gleyber Torres, I don't think that there is a big deal about that. Obviously, besides the batting average, it has become a thing of the past, especially if you don't have the power numbers. Um, like Bobby Witt, Aaron Judge, obviously, Johnny Peralta. Um, Now with Johnny Peralta and let's say Kevin McGonigal, I think I definitely believe Kevin McGonigal is going to put up a rookie season, a record rookie season. Now, with McGonagall, I definitely think he will have a long um career, and I definitely believe he will eclipse um many stars. And in fact, his rookie season, he's going to surpass many great rookie shortstops. I think he's going to surpass Corey Seager, you know, maybe even, Bobby Witt, uh, Carlos Correa, all those guys. Especially if especially when he's going to be plugged in into this offense. Now, Miguel Cabrera, I mean, come on, it's Miguel Cabrera. Miguel Cabrera is in his league of his own. We have nobody who can do what he did. Uh, Power number wise, I think the closest person who's going to get to 44 home runs is between Green, Torkelson, and obviously Carpenter. Now, Andy Dirks, left field, Green left field. Obviously Green is the better player. Um, uh, I've met Andy Dirks many different times. He's a great person. Uh, but Riley Green is the better player. Obviously, there's just no doubt. Um, Green was an MVP caliber player last season, and he will continue to be a MVP caliber time after time. Now, Austin Jackson. Austin Jackson. Now, this one's a tough one because we have Parker Meadows and we have Wenzel Perez in center, obviously, and obviously we have Bias who can play center as well. Uh, Austin Jackson, obviously known for his defense. Not too much on the offensive side as far as power. And honestly, that's what we're going to be lacking. Is going to be the offense for center field. We had a shot at getting a couple guys, but we settled for Valdez, and I think that's going to be one of our weakest positions is center field. Um, you know, but the thing is if you start Meadows, you have great defensive players, but if you start Wenzel Perez, you have a lot better offensive stats. Now, right field, Torrey Hunter, obviously Kerry Carpenter, Wenzel Perez. At least at this time, at the age of 37 for Torrey Hunter, those guys are definitely better than him. At that point, I think Kerry Carpenter is definitely a MVP caliber. Um, a MVP caliber. Okay, sorry about that, guys. Um, MVP caliber. Player Kerry Carpenter. I think we get to see that from him. This season, I think he'll go 35. 35, 40 home runs. Um, potentially pass Miggy on this list. As far as 44 home runs. But obviously we probably won't get the batting average from Carpenter. Because Carpenter is tough as well. Also, I have met Carpenter a couple of times. Really nice dude. Now Victor Martinez, obviously, great player for Detroit. But I think with the combination of all of our guys, Cole Keith, Carpenter, Perez, all those guys in the mix, I think we get a better loadout from them. Especially when you talk about power numbers, I think all three of those players can eclipse 14 home runs, and then a combined, RBI number, better than that. Now with pitching, um, obviously Verlander is really only comparative to Verlander himself. Now with Verlander, as I said, I think we get an immaculate season from him as he says goodbye. Um, Mm. I think we are actually going to be seeing him on the All Star team as a real All Star. None of this legend stuff. Um, and I think by the end of the year, if he stays healthy, Verlander can be in contention. I think we have many different guys. At the end of the day, I think all five of our starters can be in contention for Cy Young. Um, Verlander, Scoville, obviously two-time winner. Flaherty. Okay, now um, Flaherty is a tough one. I'm not the biggest fan of Flaherty, but when he was good, he was great. Okay, and he just led the league in losses this past year, and I know we will see him bounce back this year because he just will. He has to. He has to. Casey Mize, I think he takes a step up this year. To help lead the pack. Scooble, he might give us, his on his year out, he'll give us a great season. But the other guys have to step up now, especially if you don't get Scooble back. Now, um, our bullpen alone, our bullpen alone this in 2013 was great. Benoit is our closer, but honestly, I think uh Jensen will be even better. Fact. I think Jensen can even go for the save record of 62 saves, which was done by once Detroiter Francisco Rodriguez. Now, I say that because some a lot of times our offense has struggled to put up some runs and struggled to take the lead. But I believe our bullpen can hold them, and then Jansen can come down and save the game for us. Not to mention Vest, you know, not to mention Melton, Holton, all those guys. All those guys. Hmm. Now, the biggest question now, one of the problems is going to be our depth. Um, is going to be our depth in the field. Okay. Now, obviously, it's gonna go Torque, Dingler, Torque, Torres. Now there's been many questions about if Torres would even try to play third. Um, but it came out that Gleyber Torres didn't want to play for the Yankees because they want him switched over to third base, and he simply didn't want to do that. Um, so he's coming into a qualifying offer year or right after accepting it, and um, I think he stays at second base. Shortstop McGonagall, he's got to make this team. We can't have, um, McKinsey. Sure, he was great, he was good, making the All Star team and all that, right? But I think McGonagall is just obviously the better all around player. Vealing, great utility guy. Great utility guy. And I definitely think that Vealing does give you options. Third base, center, outfield, infield, and I think that's great to have depth. and also with Nicholas Castellanos getting released. Um, you know, I don't think we see a reunion with him, simply because he seems like he has an attitude, and he clashes with management, Dave Dombrowski and those guys. So a couple of predictions I have for this season. We get over 100 wins, 105 wins. The MVP for this season, Riley Green. I think he throws his name into the book. Cy Young. This year, I'm actually gonna go with Valdez. Okay, Framber Valdez. Um, Obviously, School Rule is the favorite on this team. Um, but I think he's gonna be great. But I just think Valdez might have the edge coming into a new team wanting to prove something. Rookie of the Year, Kevin McGonagall. Um, I mean that's the easiest one. He's the second best prospect in all of baseball. And if he plays from opening day, I think we get to see a show, potentially even an All-Star game from McGonagall in his first year. Silver Sluggers, I think Torque gets one at first base. Kerry Carpenter at DH slash right field. Riley Green, obviously outfield. Dingler, again, catcher. Torres or Keith, one or the other. I won't go both Torres and Keith. I'll go Torres or Keith though. Gold Glove, Dingler again, and Green again. And honestly, we might even have a pitcher going for a Gold Glove. Now, Glove. If he's healthy, I would go Parker Meadows because that is a solid bet to have. As long as he stays healthy. If he doesn't, then okay, then it's a toss up. Um, Last year I was wanting us to put together some guys, and I think we can even do that this year if I'm being honest. Um, I think we put together some guys to get another bat, much needed bat. I wanted us to get Bregman. I wanted us to get Bregman last year too, or the year before that. But obviously Bregman signed with Chicago, the Cubs, and obviously that's not a great thing. But screw him, right? Um, but I think if we put a package together of Meadows, McKinstry, if you still want to get rid of Baez, put Baez in there. Potentially Veerling, him coming off an injury though, he's gonna have to prove himself in the first half. But McKinsey's an all-star. Meadows, great defender. Perez, he's a switch hitter. If you can get somebody, especially as far as center field with Max Clark coming up. Obviously, probably not this year. If he does, not until the end. But we got a lot of prospects, and we could even trade them too. Um, but um, that's one of the problems is spending. Obviously, Illich doesn't like spending. Scott Harris looks like he just got out of high school. Um, those guys don't like spending, unfortunately. We kept the guys back together, back in the day when Mr. I was still alive. But other than that, we won't even spend to keep school. Okay. And that is stupid because what happens when Green and Torkelson and Carpenter are up and Dingler are all up for um contracts? Then what? If you said no to school ball, how can we justify bringing those guys back? Because those guys play more than Schoober does. But there you go. Um, but as far as this goes, so I mean, yeah, I mean, looking forward, you have a much better team. Tigers in 2013 hit 176 176 home runs. This past year, we hit 198. Okay. Now, another person too, Trey Sweeney. Not the biggest fan of Trey Sweeney either. I think he can get gone as well. But all these guys, obviously we've seen Andy Ibanez go to the Dodgers and then he got DFA'd. Um, and um, I think we see close to 150 game season from Carpenter. He got to 26 home runs. Um, I think he adds 14 more to that. Uh, you know, Dingler. Obviously catcher. The catcher is a lot different. Um, because it's harder on the body. Um, Trey Sweeney, that right, 118 games. That's a lot of games to play for somebody of Trey Sweeney's caliber. Unfortunately, Parker Meadows injured, 58 games, 215 batting average, not the best, obviously. But great defender as always. Wenzel Perez, he was also injured last year for a little bit of time. Um, but obviously he brings, a switch hitter, um, an advantage to us. Colt Keith, he's getting better and better each time he steps up to the plate. Obviously Javier had a decent season last year, 1.9 more, not too shabby. Andy Ibanez was he was all right for Andy Ibanez. Jermaine Jones, um, the thing is that got me pissed off this offseason was Justin Henry Malloy to the Rays for cash. Out of all things, we gave them cash. Like what? Now I know he has a problem of getting out all the time. Um and 52 games, um, one home run, you know. So that was a huge problem, and he can't play defense. That was the biggest problem. But the thing is now we're loading up on lefty hitters, and we're struggling to keep righties. Um, but that being said, I wish we got somebody for Malloy. Matt Vierling's coming back, obviously. It's always good to have his bat, like I said. Vaz Holton, Canely, so glad we got rid of him. Herder will give you immense depth in the bullpen. This will be one of the best bullpens in the entire league this season, as long as with the entire pitching staff. I think we do it again. Um, I think we go this year, you know, we learn from our mistakes. I think this year we go all the way. Ju- just just to have Verlander go off in the sunset. Um, and I think everything we give as far as record wise, I think we have a better record than the Dodgers. Even though they signed Tucker, obviously, and they got Edwin Diaz. Um, but I think we're just better. We're better. We play, Cleveland. We play Chicago. We play Minnesota. We play Kansas City. You know, Cleveland always gives us something, but this year I don't think there's going to be a meltdown like there was last year. As far as at the end of the season, I think we're gonna walk away with the division winner, run away with the division. Not just that, but we also put together the longest winning streak in the history of the Tigers and even potentially contend for the all-time record of the most wins in a single streak. Because now it's just not about our guys that we do have, it's about the guys who are coming up as well. Like we got guys to back up. If one of these guys go down, you know, Scoble, Flaherty, Mize, Verlander, um, Valdez. Now we have Kyler Montero. We have Troy Melton backing them up. We got Troy Gibson Long again. You know, and then we got guys who can start the game for a couple innings, like Holton. We got Holton, Herder, Hannafy, you know, um, that can just give you innings. We got rid of Chase Lee, I believe, though. As far as hitters, you know, um, hitters, we can bring some guys up as well to help us out if somebody goes down, like there has been the last couple of years. I mean, come on, Green, Carpenter, those guys go down, we bring somebody up, boom, done, playoffs. You know, um, So, yeah, it was a great season last season, and it would be an even better one this season by a lot. It's not going to be it, it's not even going to be close from Cleveland. Um, and if you guys should check out my Twitter page or my X page, um, I talk every week. I post every single week, and I go back and forth with some Cleveland fans. Um, yeah, go back and forth with some Cleveland fans, Dodgers fans, all those, everybody. So give me a follow, and thanks.